Welcome to the February the 1st, 2000 taping of It Happened in Grand Prairie. This is our history tape number 387 as we continue with our wonderful celebration in February of Black History Month. We have a gentleman and part of his heritage with us today that have made history in Dallas, Grand Prairie, the Metroplex, and finally, only recently, in Los Angeles, California. We are so pleased to have with us once again Coach Boston Grant. Coach, welcome to the set.
Thank you, Ruthie.
Oh, we're just so glad to have you with us. And Coach, you have really honored us today because you brought with us your grandson, your granddaughter, and your son to help us celebrate a special occasion for you.
Well, thank you.
That's wonderful, isn't it?
It certainly is.
All right. And Coach Grant, I guess that we better mention Dorothy Jean, hadn't we?
Right, right.
Your wonderful wife that has just aided and abetted you all of these years, and she couldn't come to the show today, but she sent this wonderful group of representatives of the family.
Right.
But you go back with a message to Dorothy Jean that we're going to be looking for her real soon, okay?
Okay.
All right. We're here today to celebrate because you were the recipient of the United States Track Coaches Association, one of their national awards. You are sort of like their Hall of Fame, and I have this wonderful program that says the 99 Hall of Fame of the Track Coaches Association. And not only that, right in the front page is your picture along with another recipient and the recipients of all of the past winners of this award. You're famous, Boston.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I'm particularly pleased to have made the United States Track Coaches. That's the top.
That's the top. All right, now, have you had any your autograph asked for lately?
Well,
Not lately?
Well, we had an autograph signing in Dallas
All right.
recently.
You're going to sign this one for me publicly today, right across here.
All right. I'll sign to Ruthie.
All right. Isn't this wonderful? I'm
Ruthie.
getting a historical moment here on our show because Coach Grant is a real special young man, and I know all of the family here is going to agree with me. Is that going to be right, Brandon? Can you agree with us that your granddad is a real famous young man?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you say yes? All right. Oh, he shook his head.
Yeah, he nodded his head.
He nodded his head.
Brandon is not that bashful now. He loves to play games. I was out to his house last night, and you got to play, Grandpa. You got to play one more game.
One more game.
Before I
Yeah.
left.
Now, it keeps you busy, doesn't he?
And he doesn't allow me to win, though.
All right. Brandon, how old are you? Can you tell me how old you are or hold up some fingers for me? He's 6. Wow. Can you tell me where you go to school?
Where you go to school,
Are
Brandon?
you in kindergarten? Are you in first grade?
I'm in kindergarten.
Oh, in kindergarten. What school? Do you remember your school?
Tulsa Elementary School.
Oh, that is great. Oh, that's wonderful. Do you remember your teacher's name?
Yeah,
What is it?
Miss James.
Oh, that is really great. She's going to be famous. And you go back to class now tomorrow and say, look, I mentioned your name on television, so I think I might have to have an A for one of these
I didn't
courses.
hear what you said her name was. What's her name again, Brandon?
Nothing.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Brandon, we're so glad you came with your grandfather today. But let's get with Lauren. Lauren, we're so pleased to have you with us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Lauren. How old you are, where you go to school, anything you'd like to say about your grandfather.
Go to school to Arbor Creek Middle School.
All right.
I'm in 8th grade.
All right.
I'm 14.
All right.
Grandpa's good track coach.
He's a good track coach.
And I guess I want to run track.
Oh, you want to run track too? All right. When do you figure on starting this pretty soon?
Yeah, I'll be trying out for track this year, and next year in high school I'll probably be see if I can get in the cross country.
All right, and the high school that you'll be going to, do you know that?
Hebron Hawks.
Oh, that is great. That is wonderful. Okay, have you ever had a foot race with your granddad?
No.
Has he ever given you any of the finer points of running track?
Sort of, kind of. He asked me. He's questioned me about
She
it
told me
before.
she was the fastest girl at her school.
Oh, the fastest girl at her
Yeah,
school.
she can beat all the boys.
Oh, way to go. And Michael, tell me a little bit about yourself, and if you want to mention any other members of your family,
Well,
and especially your wife and all of this.
Well, their beautiful mom is Sharon.
All right.
And we met 20 years ago.
All right.
We've been together 20 years, been married 15 years now.
All right.
So she's American Indian, you can kind of tell a little lighter than me. She's Pawnee and Comanche.
Oh, how wonderful.
Cheyenne.
And as I guess it's a couple of tribes they're all created in her family.
Yes.
But I work for the Federal Reserve in Dallas here, and I work in automation services. I'm a computer operator, and I've been working for them for about 5 years now.
That's wonderful. And besides that, you're an ex-golfer.
Oh yeah.
Once
yeah.
a golfer, always a golfer.
Oh yeah. Can't get away from that.
What was your famous year in Grand Prairie High School?
Well, God, I was there for a while. That was way back, but I think we were the first team to win the district in Grand Prairie at that time.
Okay. Oh, that is good.
And I think I made the winning touchdown, whatever, and we got to
Good.
play a regional game. So it happened we got beat by the state champs.
All right.
But I was told that they hadn't had a touchdown on them all year that year, just field goals and things.
Yes.
And we got beat pretty bad. I think it was like 14.
But at least
42.
you made the one touchdown.
One touchdown, that was it.
And then you went from there. Did you go on to Tennessee?
I went to Tennessee State, played wide receiver, and did the punting for them.
Oh, that's great.
And Joe Gillum, you probably saw him on TV during the Super Bowl. They
Yes.
had a big write-up. He was my quarterback.
Oh, how wonderful.
And Too Tall, Mike Hagman, both of them played for the Cowboys. So.
That's wonderful. I'm glad you decided not to stay with football, but came back to the Federal Reserve. We were glad to have you around in the Dallas area. That's great.
Mike, I'll just mention this. Tom Williams, who was with the Houston Oilers, and Chuck Fairbanks with the New England Patriots, they both tried to get Mike to come in as a free agent.
Yeah.
Mike's roommate, John Holland, had a big contract. Mike wasn't interested. He felt like he wanted a big contract. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't push him.
You didn't push him.
No,
You let him go on that. You let him go on into football, even though you were the big.
And I really
man.
didn't mess with him when he was. I'm a coach myself, but I wasn't. I came to see him play. I saw him play against Garland, and I flew up to Nashville. My wife and I. We came up there 3 times to.
Yes.
3 times to games in Nashville, and we went to see him play at the Robertson Stadium in Houston. They played Texas Southern. What is that, your freshman or sophomore year?
Sophomore year.
All right. Now, even though you were a coach and a coach of track, you didn't mess with the football boys when they did their thing. But let's.
I coached both football and track, but
And
I didn't
track.
mess with Mike. I let those people at Grand Prairie coach him.
All right.
They
Now,
did a
what
very good
I
job.
want to know is about your career, and especially this award. Let's talk about this award. You received a letter on October the 26th, 1999. It said, "Congratulations, you have been selected as one of the 5 individuals to be inducted into the United States Track Coaches Hall of Fame." And it tells that the ceremony is going to be in Los Angeles and all that good stuff. But you're one of 5 in the whole United States.
Well, it's an honor to me, and I'm proud of it.
Yes, yes. And when you received this letter, did you get really excited about it and start making plans, or had you decided whether to go?
I told my wife and called my daughter
All
in
right.
Austin, Phyllis. You talked about her.
Yeah,
on
I
the last
talked about
program.
Phyllis last time,
And
didn't I?
Phyllis immediately made reservations to go.
All right,
And in that letter it states, "Hope that you and your family can attend."
all right.
So, and it's
Did you take a
little
bunch with you?
expensive, huh?
Did you take a bunch with you?
Well, Melvin Caraway, who ran for me here, and
All
he
right.
played
Yeah.
football and ran track at Grand Prairie and Dalworth High School. I coached him on. He was on 2 state championships. Perry Pruitt, who we talked about.
Yes.
Perry Pruitt introduced me.
He
He was
did.
on my 1965 and 66 state championship. He has an insurance agency here.
Yes.
Allstate. And now I may have that wrong. It's Allstate or State Farm, one of the two.
All right.
I'm not sure. It's State Farm.
State Farm.
Okay. And they flew out, and I had some of my athletes from South Oak Cliff and friends that flew out, particularly Victor Proctor, who I followed. He sent him to Odessa Junior College, and from there, he made All-American at Odessa, and I have one of the rings, his championship rings, he gave me, and we drove out to his graduation at University of UTEP, and recently I went to his, one of the chief's last appointments. He was appointed senior corporal.
How wonderful.
Dallas Police Department.
Oh,
And
great.
Of course, Victor's was like Mike was, a little bitty fellow. They were small in stature
Yeah.
when they were in high school. And Vic is big, big individual there. And of course, I'm proud of all, all these kids that formerly participated for me. And
Of all of the schools where you taught, what was your favorite school of all to teach track?
well, I really, both South Oak Cliff and Dalworth. I was real proud of Dalworth because we were handicapped in so many ways.
Yes.
And we couldn't really.
You didn't have the resources they
No,
had
we
in
didn't
Oak
have
Cliff.
resources, nothing we had in DISD.
Yes.
So I think that they, possibly Dalworth, I'd have to say, because we came from nowhere and went on. And of course, I'd like to say that the programs at Dalworth were great: football, track, and basketball.
Who's your favorite coach at Dalworth?
Well,
Can you pick one without getting in bad trouble?
I don't think. Well, I liked all of my
All of them were
constituents,
good, weren't they?
And I'll just mention the fact that Coach Reed, Coach Jackson is deceased,
Yes.
and Coach Reggie Brown, and Reggie he's a big wheel there. He wasn't the head coach, but Reggie really kept everybody straight.
Yes.
And then we had Coach Miller, who was my assistant track coach, who all of them, they did a fine job as far as I'm concerned. Okay. And I like to say this, like I said when in my acceptance speech there in Los Angeles, I wanted to give credit first to my assistant coaches, because one individual can't spread himself all over.
How
the
many
place.
champions have you had, state champions, in your career?
Well, I've had 4 state championship teams, but really I don't know how many state champions.
Individuals.
I just really hadn't counted them up.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? We're going to have to get you busy to start counting and get you a
Well,
calculator to do that.
It was 15 to 20, but
Yeah.
I just never took time to that figure. But I'm proud of all of them.
When did you retire from coaching?
I retired from the public school coaching in
That's what I mean.
1986.
1986, okay.
But now I haven't stopped.
I know you haven't stopped. Look what you have on here today. Paul Quinn, Boston Grant, head coach.
Yeah, believe it or not, Saturday night I missed the Tyson fight going to the airport to pick up a young man by the name of Jairo Duzant. He's from Antilles, Netherlands. Well, it's some little island in the Pacific.
All right.
And I picked up he and his parents. They missed the plane. Something happened in Miami, and I picked them up Sunday morning.
All right.
And so I didn't get to go to church because I had to go pick them up, and I was with them all day Sunday trying to get them situated, hotel and there at school, and then yesterday they finishing up. And the family's going to be here a week with him, but the young man was second in the Caribbean Games last summer.
All right.
Yes.
And you're going to have him at Paul Quinn?
Yeah, he's.
Oh,
well,
man.
now let me give credit where credit's due. He was recruited by Texas Christian University.
All right.
And the coaches there, he didn't make enough on his ACT, SAT score to get in the Division I, but he is qualified. He finished in up half of his class, and he did have better than the C average, so he's qualified to run. We're a Division NAIA Division I school. So
All
he
right.
is qualified, certified to run for us and pursue his education.
That's great.
And I like to let the kids, all of them know that the most important thing is the degree. You're here
Yeah.
primarily to get an education, to prepare yourself so you can get out there in society and be a productive citizen.
That's it.
And secondary, you run.
That's
And
it.
this running makes it possible for you to get your education. And this is what I'm trying to instill in these youngsters' mind that I'm working with. But now, I don't know how long I'm going to continue. I'm going to do it on a year-by-year basis.
Yes. Well,
Now,
now,
I may return next year and I may not.
all right. Now, last year I caught you down in Austin. What were you doing down in Austin? Is that because Phyllis lives there, or
Yeah,
what?
Phyllis lives there. She
All
works at Seton Breckenridge Hospital. She was supervisor of nursing there, but she felt like that was a little too much pressure, so she works in the neonatal
Oh, how great.
care, and
Yeah.
this is what she does, and she enjoys it. She went to University of Texas and finished the School of Nursing there.
All right. Is this the most, the greatest award you've ever won?
This is the most significant award that I've received, and
Why do you
it
feel-
puts me there. When I was a youngster, my dad used to take me, and I looked down here at Clyde Littlefield, who was inducted in 1997. Well, he
Yes,
was a track coach at the University of Texas.
Yeah.
And I went, and here's Stan Huntsman, former Olympic coach, Dr. Leroy Walker. He was track coach at Prairie before I got there.
Oh, man.
And Stan Wright, who had been to my house to recruit Melvin Caraway when Melvin was a senior, and Brooks Johnson.
And look at that big
from
trophy of
Stanford.
yours. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Louis. That is just lovely. Now, that's the one that you received in Los Angeles, right?
This
That's the big
and
daddy
this
of
is,
all.
This is
This
where
program.
this program is from.
Okay.
Oh, incidentally, I'll mention the other award members that were inducted with me.
All right.
Dr. Leroy Ellis, who was track coach at Princeton, and he was a 1984 Olympic coach.
Oh, wow.
He and I were friends. I met him some time ago. He was deceased, and it was very, very unfortunate for me to find out. Well, he had a heart problem.
Yes,
And he passed just a little before he was.
Received that award.
He didn't even get a chance. Well, he wasn't. He was deceased.
No.
And
That was a memorial salute, though. That's great.
and Doris Brown Heritage, I didn't know her. Jack Rose, who's also deceased. Joe Vigil, who's a great coach also. Well, his daughter's a former coach at Stephen F. Austin. We were friends,
yes.
and I happen to know her. And John McDonald, who is the current national leader in Division I championships. He's passed everybody. And he mentioned the fact that he and I had been friends for quite a while,
That made you feel good,
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. And I say, well,
You felt like a real celebrity at this thing, didn't you?
I feel
You
pretty
were,
good
weren't
about
you?
it. Now, I'd like to say this. My little granddaughter flew out there, and believe it or not, one of my former athletes that I coached after Dalworth closed, I ended up in Wilma Hutchin before I went into DISD.
All right.
At that time, husband and wife couldn't teach in DISD, so I had to work. That's the reason I ended up in Grand Prairie, because Dorothy was teaching in Dallas.
Yeah.
So when I went to Wilma Hutchins, I recruited Royce West, and he was a high jumper, and I coached the ends on the football team. And with my contacts that I had at University of Texas at Arlington, Royce got a scholarship over there. And Royce ended up being student body president, graduated, and he went down to Texas and went to law school. He's now state senator.
State senator.
And I imagine he'll be in Congress in the very, very near future.
And he didn't forget that he knew Coach Boston Grant.
No, I was going to see if he wanted to maybe introduce me. He's a pretty good speaker.
Yeah.
And he knows Mike as well. And so he gave a ticket to my granddaughter to fly out there.
Isn't that wonderful? That's a salute to Senator West, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, I think we're doing pretty good along the way here, but I need to get back with Brandon just a minute. Brandon, are you going to run track maybe someday? Are you going to play football maybe someday?
Brandon, you got on the track and just ran.
Do you think you can run like the wind?
Yeah, he's faster than all little boys.
Oh, that is great.
Yeah, he's pretty fast.
Good.
He's
Maybe
got the gene somewhere. He'll be
yeah,
able to
he's gonna do that and just outstrip the wind and maybe go to an international award and beat his granddaddy, even though his granddaddy has won the highest award in the United States as far as track is concerned. Isn't that great? Brandon, do you think that you might want to be a school teacher then? Do you have any idea what you'd like to be when you grow up? Would you
Right.
would you like to think about it a while and then come back and tell us in a few minutes? No, you wouldn't even want to. You're not going to put it off. Well, Michael, I know that you're proud of your dad. Is there anything you'd like to say about growing up when you had a dad that was important like that and a coach? And
I was very proud of my dad. My dad handled everybody real well. He was very fair, and I've carried on through my life. I think I'm very fair with my kids. All the people I've ever met, everyone knows Dad is Dad. You know, they know my dad, and they always give him praise every time I run into one of his ex-students. I get along with everybody quite well, and except for me and him, we kind of argue about certain things, but that's father and son.
does your wife work out of the home?
She works out of the home. She works for Sprint.
That's
She's
great.
a manager there, and she is doing work outside of the home. Plus, she has her own business. She gets into everything. She's into crafts and makes drapes, does things like that.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
great. That's
She's
wonderful.
very talented, so you know.
And we thank her for being so talented and loaning us two darlings here today. That is
Yeah.
really, that's really great. Okay, let's get back to Boston then. We had to give them a little bit of equal time to break this thing up. But would you like to let us know what you're going to be doing the rest of your life?
Well,
When you grow up?
you talking about me?
Yes,
Yes. Well, I hope the good Lord allows me
to continue
to
coaching.
stay, well, not necessarily continue coaching, to maybe ease out of it and stay busy doing something productive, you know, and well, maybe enjoy myself a little more.
All right.
You know, I enjoy coaching.
Well,
Working with the
how about
kids.
writing us a book?
Well, someone had approached me. I've written several articles. I don't know if I would tie myself down to writing a book or not.
Well, why don't you just write several articles and then we'll compile it and put it into some sort of semblance and have a wonderful book about track and some of your experiences and at least put it on audio tape. I know that we couldn't do enough videotapes of you and all of the experiences you've had, but if you'd put them on audio tape, I think we could find someone that would put them on a computer. Someone would love that job.
Well, we'll take that under consideration.
And you're going to
Okay.
be with Paul Quinn until when?
Well, I'm on a year-by-year basis. I'll finish out this year, and hopefully the kids will produce like I feel that they will. I've recruited some fairly decent young men and young ladies. I have a young lady from Conroe. Her name is Marnine Johnson. She's a hurdler. A young lady by the name of Ebony Kyler from West Orange in Orange, Texas. And another young lady from California, Cassandra Williams. And I have another kid I recruited from California by the name of Marlon Bivens, who was a pretty good athlete at a small school. And I recruited a couple of young men from West Orange, Texas out there, and the young man from the Caribbean, and I have a kid from White who's left over from last year. I had two kids off of the national record-setting sprint relay team there last year. Unfortunately, they wanted to move further, so they're not there. But I think, all in all, we'll do fair.
All right, now tell me, what kind of a coaching assistant staff do you have? Or do you do all of this by yourself?
I have a young man, Raymond Butler, who's helping me. He helped me last year. He works at the post office. He has a track club. He ran track for me. As a matter of fact, Mike took Raymond and his other classmates when they finished
You know, Wichita State.
to Wichita State. He drove them up in Dorothy's car.
How
And,
wonderful.
you know, 5 kids. It was
And
5
so,
kids.
how does he help you as a volunteer?
He volunteered.
All right, do you have-
Because the salary that I get at Paul Quinn, frankly and truthfully, I mean, this is going out over there. Paul Quinn's,
Yes.
they're rather poor.
Yes.
And the salary just barely would take care of my gas expense.
Yes.
You know.
And who else helped
so I'm
you?
not, that's basically it.
That's it? In other words, you are practically all of the coaching staff for Paul
I'm
Quinn.
all of it right now.
For track.
Yeah.
Do y'all play any football?
They, John Kincaid brought me out there. He was formerly my athletic director in the Dallas Independent School District. And
All right.
they had a press conference last week, and he kind of jumped on me because I wasn't at the press conference. He said, "Didn't you get an email?" I said, "Man, I'm computer illiterate." My son, my little grandson here works with a computer, and my granddaughter, and I'm a former business education teacher. And I just haven't taken time.
Well, you're going to have to
They're going
stop.
to teach me how to use
You're going to
a
have to
computer.
stop the music, and you're going to get a computer like I did, and they'll make you learn it. And it's easy after you just get with
Well,
it.
I really need to.
Yes.
But anyway, I didn't get the news announcement that there was going to be a press conference. They're going to have a football team at Paul Quinn.
Yes.
Starting this season, I think.
This season.
And
They'll do their spring training pretty soon then, won't they?
well, they got to get some athletes first. Won't have spring training. It's a few there.
Do they have a coach, a football coach?
Well, I'm not. It's a young man who's serving in the capacity now. I don't know exactly what is going to happen.
All right. You'll keep us up to snuff then on
well-
what's happening at Paul Quinn then, won't you?
Well, you just watch the news. I'm not going to keep you up to snuff because I don't keep up with things too much myself. I just try to take care of my business.
You're going to make some notes though, and do some. Maybe we can get one of your grandchildren to use you as a guinea pig and do some audio tapes and keep those going
Well,
for us.
Lauren takes care of that. See,
Yeah.
she can handle it. Can you handle it, Lauren?
Lauren said she'll try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is there anything that you'd like to say about the importance of the effect that your granddad's life has had on yours, maybe?
I'm real proud, and I would like to show him off to my friends. I tell my friends, oh, I went to California for my grandpa. He's got several awards. He's in the Black National Hall of Fame, and
Well, it's great to brag on him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that is wonderful. We have 1 minute left. I'd like for you to look out into your camera, Coach Boston
Okay.
Grant, and say 1 minute's worth of anything you want to.
Okay, well, Ruthie, I'll tell you what. I'd just like to thank you for inviting me to be on your program. This is the second time. Because you did have a problem getting me on.
That's
but
it.
I'm on now, so thank you for
may be-
inviting me.
you may be
and
back
I'd like to say to the young men and young ladies out there, avoid drugs, liquor, alcohol, drugs, or what have you. Get an education and prepare yourself so you can be out there and be productive and not get put in,
Bad
in the
places.
jail, in those bad places where you don't want to be.
Boston, Coach Grant, you are wonderful. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
life. Thank you for sharing it with us today.
Thank you, Ruthie.
And this is Ruthie Jackson reminding you that history is as we live and do. And that's Boston.